Welcome back, guys. So there was a comment a while back that kind of bugged me, and it still bugs me just a little bit to this day. Somebody told me that I never show my fails, only the good games. Now this is very, very much wrong. There's tons of good games that I could show you, but they don't demonstrate the capabilities of the aircraft. And that's what I'm trying to get at. So these games that I pick, they demonstrate the aircraft, at least somewhat to its abilities, and this one is going to do it very well. So this is a 5-kill match. Now, I could have had more. I actually lost this match, but this definitely demonstrates capabilities of this aircraft. I even throw in a little bit of defensive flying because I'll tell you what, this plane right now, this could be one of the best, it probably is still the best premium jet you can buy right now. Now, the Shenyang F5 is probably close to, but a lot of people don't really understand how to fly MiGs. So right now, barring, you guys might come along a month later after this video is launched and the Gaijin power creep might have kicked in and maybe this aircraft isn't so good anymore. But right now, I would say this is probably your best bang for your buck if you're going to buy into premium jets. Now, this is typically, it's the same airframe as the rest of the Hunters. It's just a hell of a lot faster. This thing is got a ton of power. But the problems you're going to face, the biggest threat is a lightning. You'll see right here, I'm dropping out of the clouds. I'm launching the missile off at him. He's busy fighting that other guy. He's not paying attention. That missile's going to take him down. One lightning out of the game. There is another one somewhere. There he is up top. They are my biggest threats in this game right now. Really, the reason is not necessarily because of the missiles. You could still dodge the missiles if you see them coming. But they get behind you, they dump a ton of speed, and they will sit on your butt. So it's not a good situation. Do not ever give your butt to a Lightning F6. Also, the same thing goes for the F3H Demon. The F3H Demon dumps a ton of speed, very maneuverable, even at high speeds. You have to be careful. Do not let either of those two aircraft get on your butt. Now, also another threat would be another Hunter, but you know how that goes. You're going to be facing your own aircraft, so you know what your aircraft can do. In this match, though, typical Hunter playstyle, you're diving into the match. You're taking these passes back and forth, almost like a pendulum through the match, right? So I'm keeping an eye on that Lightning. I really don't want to ever get him behind me, but the rest of these guys, really not a huge threat as long as you keep your speed up in this aircraft. Take a pass on the Super Mysteer, aimed a little bit high, missed him, no biggie, he's going down anyways. We continue on. We are not turning here. We're maintaining well over 1,000 kilometers an hour, and that's the beautiful thing about this aircraft. It's very, very hard, unless you're air brake and you drop the throttle, to ever drop below 950. I mean, it's easy to stay up at 1,000 kilometers an hour, even into a climb. So here we are. We're making a bit of a steep climb here. Chandelle, this is my favorite maneuver to do with the Hunter. It's really your best option. Now, I dumped a little bit more speed than I wanted to into that Chandelle, but I saw an opportunity because the Lightning was getting busy with the F3H. Now, I know that means that Lightning is probably a little slow. Now, if I can sneak up on him, get him out of the game, the rest of this game should be cake. At least I thought. Anyways, long distance missile, these are AIM-9Es. They have a lot of range, and right now this is actually kind of an exploit that I'm using, because right now the missiles from when you got a missile behind you, it burns out after like 1.5 kilometers, but it's still actually going. Now these missiles, like I said, they have really good range, so I was shooting it hoping it would get him, but it didn't. He turned just enough. That's fine, whatever. MiG-17 is not faster than me. He tops out around 1100 on the deck. There's not many aircraft in the MiG-17, the F5s. They're not faster than you. Now they can keep up with you in a dive, so that's where you really have to be careful. Don't let him get behind you on the pass. Lob a shot at the MiG-17, get him out of the match. Now we got another Hunter down here who's got a 2-on-1 scenario. I really want to try and keep this guy alive. He's my best bet right now, so we're going to come down and see if we can give him a hand. Diving in, getting up to 1100 kilometers an hour, lining up on this other Hunter because neither of these guys are looking at me. They're looking at the guy in front of them. Line up, shot, 2 down. There we go. Now I get a little bit aggressive. As long as I'm in a horizontal and I'm not trying to climb, it's really, really hard to ever dump your speed in this aircraft. Look at this. I'm pulling as hard as I can right now. I'm not dumping any speed. The only thing I got to worry about is blacking out. So here we are, pulling back up against the MiG-17. I take a look around. I'm looking for the Lightning. There he is. So he's going to make a pass on me. I can see him dropping down on me. Now, I do not want to ever give the Lightning my butt. So I see him getting close. I'm like, all right, we're going to ignore the MiG-17. It's time to turn. I want to turn early, because if the Lightning dumps his speed behind me, I will never be able to shake him. But he ignores me. He goes for the other target, and I pull up, and I'm going to try and get a pass on him. Let's see if we can get him. I've dumped a little bit of speed because I've been aggressively turning and going vertical. I see that he's pulling away from me. Doesn't want anything to do with it. That's fine. Let's dive down on the MiG-17 again. We're going to recover all the speed very, very quickly. Unable to do it. Rolled the wrong way. All fine and dandy. We're still doing a really good speed here. I got another Hunter in the distance. I can see him coming this way. but I'm still really worried about that lightning. So I'm continuing off, and I'm kind of running a little bit. I want to separate myself from that MiG-17. Now, I know he made a couple turns, so he's not going to keep up. Looks like the lightning is diving down on the F3H that was trying to help me, and unfortunately, the lightning gets the F3H. So now I'm in a 2v1 scenario, and we're going to dive back down on the MiG-17. Let's see if we can get him, make a pass, pull into the head-on. Hunter's really good at head-ons. He still don't want to full commit. Try to pull that second pass, wasn't enough. Of course, the Hunter does not turn that well, so we were not going to make that shot anyways. So I'm continuing on. Again, the MiG-17 is probably slow enough that I don't have to worry about him following me right now, but here comes the lightning. And this is what I'm saying. I could have dove right here, but I'm not going to dive. I'm going to keep him in the broadside because he's going to fly right past me. Hopefully, with that dive, he would maintain enough speed that I could turn inside him. And that is exactly what happened. However, he played the smart move and kept running. Now, I know that MiG is still behind me, so I am not going to turn around right away. I'm just going to pretend that I am following this guy. I know I'm never going to catch him, but we're going to keep on him for a little bit and make him run. Keep an eye out behind me. Looks like the MiG-17 is now turning back towards base, so I am free to fight the lightning, but the lightning wants nothing of it. Can't blame him. But I'm not going to chase him too much more. Right now, my train of thought is maybe he'll pull straight up and dump some speed. Right now, I'm trying to conserve a little bit of speed. That way, if he does pull straight up, I can pull into him. But he's still not going to do anything. And I know that there's another Hunter coming in from the distance. So, not a good idea to get slow. We're going to turn a little bit to the side. We're going to make myself look a little meaty, see if we can get the lightning to dive on us. Pulling away right now, keeping at my speed. Look out the corner, and here comes the other Hunter. So I'm forced into a head-on with a Hunter. I've got a lightning right on my tail. Going to try and pop a couple shots at the Hunter. Miss the shots. We are diving. Now, I know that Hunter is not going to be able to make a full 180 and come up right behind me anytime soon. And I got somebody else coming in to help me. Lightning fires off a missile. We pull a little bit early, and the missile flies right by. Red tops, they're good, but they don't have that much range. So if he had fired it any closer, it might have been a different scenario, but he fired it too early. Lightning was more interested in the other Hunter. So we're going to pull around. I'm going to try and maintain some of my speed here and see if we can help these guys out. Again, the biggest threat that I'm worried about right now is the lightning. I do not want to ever let him get directly on my butt. The Hunter is giving up a little too much speed right now, which is not a good scenario. The other Hunter is coming towards me, making a pass. Looks like he doesn't want to do the head-on, so I line up for the shot, and I think I was just a little bit high on that. So I missed that. That was a bit of a mistake, but here comes the lightning again. I'm going to pull back towards him. He is definitely interested in that Hunter. Keeping the horizontal turn, maybe a little bit of a dive here to try and build up a little bit more speed, because now the lightning is getting aggressive with this Hunter. And unfortunately, this Hunter is going to die, but this is what I need to be able to get rid of the lightning, because once the lightning gets aggressive and dumps its speed, it's not getting them back that quick. And I can easily maintain my speed, catch up to them, and see if I can get him out. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. The other Hunter, I think he ran back to base. And there goes my Hunter. But as you see, we're catching him pretty quickly. The lightning, he probably should have dove out, but instead he kind of climbed a little bit, and he's going to realize real quick that I can catch him. The more he maneuvers, as long as he maneuvers, he's not going to gain any speed. So he's kind of screwed right now. He had one option. He still could have done it. He still could have dove out, but he didn't. He might be out of fuel. He might have been looking for a reversal. Chances are he was pretty much out of fuel. Really bad aim, trying to line up on him. There we go, we finally get the kill. Diving out, here comes the other Hunter. He's trying to get, I guess, an assist, because I think that guy's already dead. Oh, no, he was dead now. He was heavily crit, I know that. So, we went into a dive. We're going to pull right back up. We're going to maintain a pretty good speed. This Hunter, not sure exactly what his train of thought was right now. Getting a little confused because I can hear that other dead Hunter next to me. So, but I'm alone right now. I'm going to chase down this Hunter. Oh, there's the other MiG-17, but he's way behind. He's not going to catch us anytime soon. Well, he never could. The other Hunter realizes I'm catching him, starts diving out, realizes I'm still catching him, so he starts making a turn. And this is where we can line up a nice, easy shot, take off his wing. He is out. And this is where it gets really bad really quick, and this is where I start making mistakes, especially because I've got 5 minutes of fuel left, which is okay for now, but I'm going to start getting desperate. Now I've got the other Hunter on my team, one left, who's going to give me a hand here. But unfortunately, we did not work together. We could have worked together. I hear a plane coming to the left. I see it's a CL. I'm going to pull into a horizontal turn here, maybe a little bit of a spiral, And you see how he just pulled straight up. He's going to dump all his speed now. Now, I do know that he landed and he has probably fresh missiles. At least that's what I'm planning on. The other MiG-17's pulling straight up on me as well. I'm staying in this horizontal turn. I haven't grabbed too much altitude. And look at these guys. They're all now very slow. And this is kind of the energy tricks that you have to play with the Hunter, is these horizontal turns, maybe a little bit of a chandelle, maybe a spiral if you can, and you're going to get the enemy slow. But it does not maneuver that well, so having this other Hunter here is a godsend. This guy makes a pass on the CL, and I keep going into this spiral because I know the CL is going to follow me. Now, if we had communication right here, I'd really hoped that that Hunter would come and take the bait for the CL and kill this guy and get him off my butt. The MiG-17 was not a big of a threat. I know that MiG-17's got to be low on fuel. But we dive out a little bit here. I'm trying to maintain my thermals. My engine's getting a little hot, so I drop the throttle. We're pulling up on the CL. He's got enough time to get his nose in, but I'm going to try for a shot. He pulls off, lines up right there. I think I underled the shots. That is my first big mistake. I should have been able to kill that guy right there. Really, really needed that guy dead. But unfortunately, we did not, and here's the scenario that we were in. The other Hunter, I don't know what he did, but he got tangled up with the MiG-17 now. I'm trying to run back and trying to give him a hand, but unfortunately, he goes out of the match. Now it's a 2-on-1 scenario. CL-13 Mark 6 is a very, very good aircraft, extremely maneuverable, has a lot of power. The MiG-17 compresses at high speeds, has a decent amount of power, but my focus, I really want to get the CL out. Unfortunately, here comes the MiG-17 into the head-on. I'm going to drop down, lead the shots quite a bit, still got enough ammo, but my fuel is starting to get low. Here I'm at 4 minutes now. CL turns back towards me. I try pulling the keyboard into him, but there is no way in hell I'm going to make that shot. So we're going to continue on now and keep this slight climb in. And we're going to try and repeat this process again. I know things are not looking good at this point. So we're going to chop out a little bit here because it's the same repetitive stuff. Now we're going back into a spiral climb. I'm taking these guys even higher. My goal is to get them with enough separation between me and them that I can actually pull my nose back down. Now, at higher altitudes, I conserve fuel, which is a benefit right now, but I also maneuver less. Now, I'm really just playing my power. Apparently, at this point, the CL doesn't have missiles. I'm sure he would have fired one at me. He turns away just a little bit, which is enough to give me some room to pull back inside him. This is why this plane is kind of a struggle right now. So you see how long it took me to turn to get back onto him. Now it's a little late on this. I pull off, he pulls off. Had I known he was going to pull off and be a little less aggressive with the head-on, I probably would have stuck with it. This is where I'm going to start getting desperate, because now I'm down to, what, 3 minutes of fuel? And it's not looking good because these guys, they're doing it right. They're not giving up too much speed. And it's going to be painful. So here we are. I'm going to force another head-on with the MiG-17. Remember, you don't ever want to turn fight anybody, and you're going to see that here in a minute just because I'm desperate. I got a little too desperate. He managed to hit me, gave me a black wing. Now, here's the thing with black wings, especially in the Hunter. This is a curse and actually kind of somewhat of a blessing at the same time, because the Hunter maintains energy very well. So if you ever get in a situation where you have to reverse a MiG, having a black wing is actually kind of nice because you dump enough speed that he can't slow down quick enough if you set it up. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. I see the CL behind me, I see the MiG. So right now I'm not going to set up for this, because if I get aggressive with the MiG, the CL is going to clean me up. And right now the MiG is catching me. I'm not going to be able to get to my top speed very quickly unless I dive out. I'm not ready to give up my altitude yet. But I take a look behind me and it looks like the CL's pulled off. This is my opportunity. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn towards the MiG and go into a slight dive. And I'm not going to gain a whole hell of a lot of speed because of this black wing. So here's what happens. My theory, at least, is I'm going to go into this dive. This MiG-17 is going to have a lot of speed. He's not going to be able to give it up. He's going to dive. He's going to go down past me and under me. And here it is. So we're setting up. He goes right next to me, real close. He's going way too fast. I pull, and here I miss another shot. That we'll call mistake 2. And now I've dumped all my speed, and this is the worst scenario that you want in the Hunter. Trying to line up another shot. Can't quite do it because I'm too slow. He's got me exactly where he needs me right now. So I am diving out as fast as I can. Now, that ain't happening very well with a black wing. So, hopefully I can outrun him. I'm going to turn a little bit towards him so that he has to turn around to get me. But here comes the CL Mark 6. Now, we're pretty much done here. I knew I was done. Here he comes right behind me. No way I'm gaining speed, so guess what? We're going to try and dump it as fast as we can and see if we can get a reversal on him. It's a Hail Mary shot. Here we go. He's getting close. All elevator, a little bit of roll, and then... Good game.